Hello, welcome, and thank you for joining us today. My name is Maria Stutzmani Marquez, and I serve as the Director of Graduate Admissions here at the University of Notre Dame, Mendoza College of Business. And it is my delight and pleasure to be joined and seated alongside Kris Muir, who is the Academic Director for the Masters of Science in Management program. And so thank you so much for joining us today. I'm really excited to have this conversation with you.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, I think I know that our prospective students are really interested in learning more about the program itself, but let's get started talking about you and what brought you here to this leadership role, specifically at this time.
Yes, so I've been in the role of academic director for 3 years now. Mm-hmm. Prior to this role, I served as an academic director of a similar program at another university, but I actually got my start as a K-12 teacher and coach. So I was a teacher for about a decade and built 2 nonprofit programs around youth sports in boys lacrosse before obtaining my doctorate and pursuing life in academia.
Yeah, well, we're glad that you're bringing all of that credential with you here to this program. It is a really wonderfully unique program that offers a lot of opportunities for candidates who may or may not have had a ton of business experience, right? So can you tell me what makes this program, different, especially and different and relevant in this modern era?
Sure. So the MSM program is a 5th-year program, and it's meant for students from a non-business background who are coming almost straight out of undergraduate or with limited work experience. And in that regard, it differs from, say, an MBA, where you would have more work experience. But the value proposition is the same, which is to say that we want students to take their undergraduate specialized knowledge in whatever area that is, be it mechanical engineering, history, English, communication, and marry that with the foundational knowledge of business. So our MSM program is going to provide them with core courses in all 5 foundational areas of business. Now, in terms of what makes our program unique, I'm really excited to talk about that. I think first and foremost, we maintain a culture of excellence in educating the whole person. That aligns with the mission of Notre Dame. But I'll speak to 3 specific areas of our MSM curriculum. So number 1, we are a STEM designated program, and that STEM designation carries select advantages for our international students in their career journey. Number 2, we've built specialized concentrations within our program so that students have the opportunity to carve out some choice in following a passion that they have in the spring semester. And those 2 options that we have available right now are in finance and in marketing. So students in the finance concentration would be taking managerial economics and applied financial modeling. And students in the marketing concentration would be taking digital marketing and contemporary sales management. And the third piece that I'm really proud of is we have built a distinctive course called Transformational Leadership Portfolio. And so this is a course where students have the opportunity to dig into themselves, their values, their leadership experiences. They produce a digital portfolio that they then can use as a differentiator in the marketplace. But more importantly, what that course does for them is it provides that opportunity to develop greater self-awareness. And that greater self-awareness is so vital in today's world. For students to be able to pause on purpose, to turn off that noise in their life, take stock of what they've accomplished. Because we know as leaders, it's not just what we've done, but it's what do we make from it? What is the meaning we make from it that defines our leadership development?
Yeah, this is really impressive because I think when we think about today's world and the type of leadership that we need to solve many of these complex issues, this program really provides a platform for students to explore this. And as part of Mendoza College of Business's promise to our students is that we really seek to engage in the ethical leadership training, right, that happens throughout the curriculum. There's also this wish for experiential learning so that students get hands-on, practical experience throughout their time here, and also that they're joining a community that's going to help support each other through this learning and growth. We we all know that it takes a village. And so this is one of those programs that's evidenced of that village and how that comes together to support one another. So can you speak a little bit more about those 3 promises that we have for our students?
Great question. So I think that from a leadership development perspective, we offer this transformational leadership portfolio course, but we also have an ethics course where students, learn both about the intention and the impact, not only of the decisions they're making today, but the choices they'll be making in the future. From the perspective of experiential learning, we have built within our curriculum a fall interterm experience and a spring interterm experience. And both of those amplify what they're learning in the classroom in real world settings. So a couple of examples that we've done in the past is consulting projects with local companies in the South Bend community, where students have actually been able to work on, real life problems and pitch to the local boards or CEOs of these companies. Last year, we actually were able to undertake a DEI case competition for diversity, equity, and inclusion, in which our students participated. And then from the perspective of our community and that promise we make to our students, I think it's really unique what we offer here at the MSM program. As students come together and they view their unity as their strength. You may find in a lot of programs that there's a culture of competition, right? But we don't have that here. Students support one another. We design them in very diverse learning teams that they use throughout the program, and they support them academically for sure, right? Like, how do you read a financial statement when you've never taken an accounting course? But they also support them socially, right? And many times these become lifelong friendships from these teams.
Yeah, that's wonderful to hear and also witness throughout the time that students are here on campus. So within that, we have something that we like to call growing the good in business, right? And that's something that's center to what we do at Mendoza College of Business. So how does that show up in this program?
Right. So we know that our students today are going to be entering the workforce in looking for opportunities to express their skills. And we know companies are looking for interdisciplinary experiences and skill sets. So we know, for example, from our students that in our program, they have the opportunity to develop not just an expertise in, say, accounting or an expertise in finance, but this whole person education around ethics and leadership development in the business world. And the truth is that every organization is a business, right? From the smallest nonprofit faith organization to the largest multinational corporation. So in our program, we're very intentional about putting students in challenging situations where they have to make decisions around the ethical boundaries of particular cases. And those opportunities to make hard decisions in our program will prepare them to make those hard decisions as they leave our program. And in that way, we feel like we're helping them grow the good in business.
Yeah, that's excellent. I feel like I want to put a pin in that and just pause on that because it's so mission critical, I think, in what we're seeing in today's modern world with some of the complexities that exist. So, you've shared a lot about the classroom experience, the curriculum, the intentionality and its design, and some of the promises. So what happens for students outside of the program? What is their experience outside of Mendoza College of Business or just even the classroom?
Right. We know students aren't coming here just for our incredible and rigorous curriculum. We know that they want to have a social experience that's as rich as their academic experience. And so we provide for them a series of opportunities. Number one would be there's the student leadership organization that they can become a part of. And we have students within our program that serve as officers. They get to make real decisions that impact the lives of our program and in some cases, the experiences of future students. In addition, though, to that leadership from the student organization, we have students that get involved in other affinity groups around campus, intramural sports on campus, faith-based organizations on campus. And of course, we can have football Saturdays and all the amazing engagement that happens when you are a part of that experience at Notre Dame.
Yeah, I mean, this is kind of legendary, right? when you're here at Notre Dame, you must experience that. And so, one of the things that I think prospective students are considering are kind of what the outcomes are. They go through the curriculum, they have a year, they get to experience all of South Bend and the university itself. And so how does that transcend to career outcomes? What does the career development process look like for students?
Yeah, well, I can say it starts from day one.
Okay.
Our career development team is exceptionally passionate about helping students not only find their dream job after this program, but also continuing to help them in their career process even after they leave. So one of the things that we do is we provide personalized career coaches for our students. Every student has a career coach that works with them, not simply on their own resume development, but on preparing for those interviews, on the career discernment process, identifying which career pathways are right for them, and sometimes just simply eliminating certain career pathways, right, can help them in that process. These same career coaches offer a unique course that's embedded in our curriculum called Bridge to Success, where they work with them on developing the skill sets to help them throughout that career journey. And so I would say our career development team works exceptionally hard in this regard. And from a career outcomes perspective, we find that MSM students come from a variety of backgrounds, and so it would make sense naturally that they're going to land in a variety of areas. We find students going into fields as diverse as consulting, healthcare, financial services, consumer products, and sometimes coming through our program because they want to go to medical school or dental school and they want to get the foundation of a business degree because one day they want to open their own practice.
That's really exciting. Throughout the conversation, I'm hearing more and more about the diversity of the candidates that are in the program, and I think that makes for a really interesting dialogue, right, throughout their time here. And so then they graduate and go on to become alums. Can you tell us a little bit more about the alumni network and how current students might engage with alumni?
Yeah, I mean, the Notre Dame alumni network is extremely powerful. And I think we have over 200 local alumni clubs in 42 countries. And so wherever you are, you're going to have access to a passionate alum who's there to help you along the way. Specifically for the MSM program, we actually just as early as last year, we identified an opportunity for students to develop this new MSM only platform on the Irish Compass website. And so students now in our MSM program have the ability to connect with former MSM students who might be interested, if they're interested in the same industry, or maybe they're just interested in the same geography. They want to stay in Chicago or the Midwest, and they've got a slew of alums from which they can connect.
That's excellent. So you basically took a platform for alums that already exist and kind of narrowed the scope so that our students would really have great access to their specific graduate alumni network. That's excellent. Yeah. And so I know we only have a few more minutes, but there are two questions that I have. One is, if you can think about what makes you most proud of your graduates, what would that be?
Well, I feel very blessed to be able to teach, learn from, and work with our MSM students. But I would say what makes me most proud is watching how well they soak up the entire Notre Dame experience while also balancing a full load of coursework and still pursuing their career journey. So just to give you an example, in the fall semester, students are taking rigorous courses in finance, marketing, management, leadership, and strategic communication. But at the same time, they're attending career fairs. They're working with their career coach on prepping for the next interview. And of course, they're attending our Notre Dame football games. So their ability to soak up everything and really take advantage of what Notre Dame has to offer really does make me really proud.
Yeah, I think many of the students who come here just have this incredible capacity, right? It's like this very expansive piece that we're seeing. So last question, thinking about prospective students and their discernment process, what advice would you offer them as they're considering graduate management education?
Yeah, I think the two tools that I would have in my toolbox if I were an incoming student would be intellectual curiosity and an ability to make mistakes and fail forward, right? So having a curiosity around the world and being curious, asking lots and lots of questions and finding ways of utilizing that information as you discern what it is the right fit for you. But also, we know from employers that what they're looking for are individuals who are not afraid to take risks, who have a strong learning orientation, learn things very, very quickly. You don't necessarily have to have the perfect skill set, but if you can learn things very quickly and you're willing to fail forward, as we say, I think those would be the two tools that I want in my toolbox.
Yeah, thank you so much. It's been such a pleasure to sit alongside you and to learn more about the program through your lens. I want to thank all of you for joining us here today. We have a ton of information beyond this to share with you about the program, so please feel free to reach out to us, and we'll look forward to hearing from you. Thank you so much, and thanks again, Kris.
Thank you.